Jussie Smollett's lawyers request Senate suspension due to vicious threats. I mean, what do you expect when you try to start a race war? But before we get started, go ahead and hit that like button, share this out so we can get this information out. Also, subscribe if you're not already a subscriber, and hit that alarm bell so you know when I put out new stuff. And check out my link tree that's in the description. That has a link to my Patreon, where I talk about things I can't talk about here, and also the link to my merch store, where I have Let's Go Brandon T-shirts, I Will Not Comply T-shirts, all types of T-shirts. And every purchase it goes to fund what we're doing here. All right, let's talk about this news. Jussie Smollett's lawyers requested Monday an emergency suspension to his prison sentence due to alleged, quote, vicious threats that call his safety into question. Smollett had been placed in protective custody. Protective custody generally meant for people with mental health issues, and we did a report on that. And his lawyer argued he is the he is the target of threats that, quote, no doubt reflects the hatred and wish for physical harm towards Smollett, which he may experience during incarceration. But he brought all this unto himself. And I thought that when he made this statements during his trial, he was doing this to get put in a mental health pod or a mental health ward, so he don't have to deal with the general population. That was in the back of my mind. I kind of thought that maybe that's what he was doing, because me being a therapist in a prison for 3 years, I've seen that a lot too. People doing that, faking mental illnesses so they can get into the cushy mental health pods. Well, cushy as prison can be, I guess you could say. But there's a lot more laid back than the general population. But Empire co-star Taraji P. Henson previously pleaded for Smollett's release on the basis that he has, quote, lost everything. A lot of people that break the law, I don't understand what they don't get. What don't she get? A lot of people lose everything when they break the law and get locked up. Don't commit these crimes that put you in prison. It's simple as that. Don't commit a fake hate crime, and you won't get prison time. I mean, it's simple as that. So I have no empathy for this guy, because it's what he tried to do. He tried to pit people against each other by staging this whole thing. It's just sickening to me, and I cannot have any empathy for this guy. But Taraji P. Henson stated, quote, I am not here to debate you on his innocence, but we can agree that the punishment does not fit the crime. And that's untrue, because I think he should get more time, because he's going to end up getting out half of what they sentenced him. When they get good time, he'll get out half of whatever their sentence was. I can't remember. I think it's 150. I can't remember. But she goes on to say that Emmett Till, and she brought up Emmett Till. I can't believe she did this. She brought up Emmett Till and said Emmett Till was brutally beat and ultimately murdered because of a lie. But he and none of the people involved with his demise spent one day in jail, even after Carolyn Bryant admitted that her claims were false. No one was hurt or killed during Jussie's ordeal. But they could have been. That's the thing. They could have been. If people really believed that stuff, they would have started a race war, I believe. And that's what he wanted to do. And she goes on to say that he has already lost everything. She wrote this on Instagram. I don't understand how can anyone defend him still. But one of Smollett's siblings received a disturbing anonymous call Friday, Rolling Stone reported. The caller reportedly made over a dozen calls to Smollett's siblings the same day, according to Rolling Stone. Quote, I hope what they do to you, what they do to the guy in jail, here's what they're going to do, right? They're going to take a broom handle and take a little expletive, shove it in there, and he's going to, shrieking sound. The man said, according to the outlet. The attorneys argued his placement in protective custody is solitary confinement, and argued it could diminish or cause extraordinary damages on his mental health, the outlet said. I will say that studies do show that being in solitary confinement for long periods of time, it can cause mental illnesses. And if you already have a mental illness, it can exacerbate that. But that being said, we have solitary confinement for a reason. But I've never heard of him being in solitary confinement. I heard he's on a mental health pod. Totally different from being in what they call solitary confinement. And even they don't even call it solitary confinement anymore because they get out. They have a certain amount of hours they're supposed to get out each day and all this other stuff. So they're trying to make it make it out to be a lot worse than what it really is. His brother Jaqui argued Sunday that Jussie was being held in a psych ward, though he is mentally stable. Smollett was convicted in December 2021 for crimes related to a false police report, claiming to be the victim of a hate crime in 2019. He staged the attack alongside two fellow staff members, and I'm not going to try to pronounce these guys' names, to make it appear that someone tied a noose around his neck and shouted racist and homophobic slurs at him. The judge sentenced him to 150 days. Yeah, that's what it was, days. 150 days in jail, 30 months probation, $120,000 restitution, and $25,000 fine. The former Empire actor left the courtroom repeatedly exclaiming he's not suicidal, and we went over all of that. I'm more and more with him getting the lawyers involved and his brothers is involved and all this stuff is going on. He's trying to get out early. He's just playing the game right now. I'm not believing anything he's saying. He's a known liar, so I don't trust anything this guy says. And he's 150 days. He'll get out in half that time. With good time. He's just trying to get he's trying to get a better accommodations. Is what I think is going on here, with his lawyers coming out and saying all this stuff. But let me know what you think. Leave your comments down below. Like, share, and subscribe. And check out democrepublics.com for the latest in news. Until next time, peace.